Hi, everyone. And with this video, we want to start a new mini-series of videos on our channel. So we will be coming back every couple of weeks with another video related to this topic. And we want to share actually how we build up our Aikido classes. So how we vary maybe sometimes the warm-ups, how we explain techniques, how we build up the sequence of techniques in the class or some other stuff. So we'll be doing a few episodes on this, and today we want to start really very simple with a warm-up. So a few options about planning the warm-up in relation to what we will be doing later on in the class. So if you're interested, keep watching. So normally after the welcoming to the dojo, to the class, so the kind of meditation maybe sometimes or quite often, to start with meditation, then the bow-in for the class. Then we would continue with a warm-up. So warm-up is of course important because you don't want to do some extreme exercises with your body that is not prepared for this, not stretched a little bit at least, and where you might hurt yourself. Trying to reach like the extreme capability of your body without preparing it before. Okay, so usually what we would do during the warm-up is stretching. We stretch quite a lot, and in some dojos you might see also cardio exercises in the beginning, a bit of running, a bit of overall body development exercises. We don't do it very often or almost never. Actually, we practice in Switzerland. In Switzerland, people are usually very fit, doing jogging, doing some other stuff, other sports, not only Aikido. So when they come to the class, we try to minimize the time of the warm-up, just really to prepare the body to stretch a little bit, to avoid injuries, but not spend too much time on the warm-up. We prefer to spend more time on practicing the techniques, the principles, and some other stuff. So then when we do the warm-up, we can also have different possibilities of adapting it to what we will be doing later on in the class. So we might do, we have a standard sequence of stretching that we do usually, but then depending on what kind of techniques or elements we want to work on during the class later on, we might adapt the warm-up a little bit. So we have some exercises with the practice. We might go a little bit more into the falls or specific types of falls, of rolling, ukemi. Or we might go into some other senses awakening exercises or practice with a partner, which will help us to start off better with the practice that we want to do during the class. So I will ask actually Durward to join me, and then I will be able to show you a few variations of what we might be doing during the warm-up. So one of the ways we would variate or do a variation on the warm-up sequence is to prepare for specific types of falls. Especially if we want to practice a lot of iriminage or shihonage during the class, even without the high falls, just to start off with the basic takedowns, we would probably go into something more related to guiding the partner into a fall, and especially turning back and making him roll backwards, right? So you can start off with the easier part. You can start off with guiding into a forward roll. Sorry, there was the wall, so we had to slow down. So one way would be to practice the kind of forward roll with a high fall or without a high fall, just letting the partner go. And this would be useful for some techniques like the ones where you would enter on the arm and then do the projection, tenshinages, right? All these techniques where you can turn around and roll. Also some variations of iriminage, shihonage, kotegeshi, where you can turn the partner around and let him do a forward roll. Or we can then guide to the other side and guide them into a backwards roll, really here. Okay, so, and this we would usually then adapt really to the technique that we will be doing later on. So this is one little variation of the warm-up, preparing for the rest of the class. So another thing we might do, there is a specific one, sometimes when we feel like a bit heavy, the body is not very relaxed and so on, we might go into some kind of relaxing warm-up and still stretching the joints, working on the joints, moving one side and testing the limits of the uke actually. And this is also useful when we want to work on some balance exercises or jiwaza or this kind of thing, where we want to be able to take the energy that we are receiving from the partner, take it into the body, right? So I'm trying to move Durward around, maybe with both arms as well. And what I want to achieve is actually I want to test his limits, so I want to feel where is his limits before he falls down. And this is also a kind of stretching for him and being able to understand where his limits are, how much he can go on the receptive side. And this could be useful in jiwaza and also in kai shiwaza, for example, very useful, where you want to take in the technique until a certain moment before you reverse it, right? So if we plan to do kai shiwaza in the class, we would definitely do this kind of warm-up. And then there is another aspect when we want to work on the ushiro waza, so techniques from behind. You want to be aware of what is happening behind you when you're attacked, right? Or either here or with a eridori maybe. I need to try kind of sense which side is it, on which side I need to do the technique. I want to be a bit more aware of what is happening behind me. And then we can also have a few exercises that we do for this. I mean, one basic is already a kind of simple massage just to wake up the back and the kind of senses on the back, just giving the idea that there is something happening behind you and you need to be aware of it. We might also do some connection practice, like touching the partner, moving away, and then maybe coming back in. And the idea is for the partner to try to feel the touch just before it touches, really, before there is the physical contact. So like try to feel the hands arriving, getting close, and just when you're almost about to touch, so this gives you a kind of little edge on the movements from behind, on the attacks from behind. And then again, one more way of practicing this touch from behind is, okay, you can start with the contact, move a little bit away, and then come back again and like move forth and back. But there is also a way where you can just walk around your partner, in the back, in the front, it doesn't really matter, you just walk around, and you let him sense your movements, like try to figure out, so Durward is trying to figure out where I am, walking around him, when I'm getting closer, when I'm moving away a little bit, right? From time to time I might still touch him to give him the information, okay, I'm here now, and then I'm moving away again. And this can be done at a big distance. You can move all around the dojo, and if you have many people practicing it, actually it gets really complicated to follow, because then you have other people coming in between, crossing in between, and so on. So it gets really funny and a nice experience doing it. Okay, so these were a few first ideas of how the warm-up sequence before we get really into the techniques can be adapted to what we will be doing during the class. Let us know what you think about it, if you have similar ways of preparing the class, and see you again in another video.